Thank you so much for joining me today for Yin Yoga for Arthritis. All right, so we're going to be down on the floor. If you have a really hard time getting up and down on the floor, you can try these poses just simply laying in bed or sitting on your bed. It won't be quite as effective, but like I said, some yoga is always better than no yoga, okay? So the first pose we're going to do is a pose called Baddha Konasana. Now with Yin Yoga, we're going to get into a posture, we're going to get into a pose, and we're going to hold it for a prolonged period of time. So you want to make sure that your body is able to stay in that position for a sustained period of time. So the first one we're going to do is you're simply going to go ahead and bring your feet together and just let the hips spread open. Now, when you get into this position, if you're really rounded, if it's really hard for you to open up the hips, this is where you're going to use a yoga block to either sit in and lift yourself up a little bit, or you can sit on a few blankets as well, just to lift yourself up to give a little bit more space. All right, once you're in this position, if you're feeling a lot of pressure on the outsides of the hips, you can use some yoga blocks to simply place underneath the thighs, or you can also roll up a blanket and use the blanket instead, rolling out. So keep in mind, we're going to be here for a little while. All right, so make sure that it's the position that you can stay in for a period of time. All right, so from here, I want everyone to pull in the belly, lift up through the chest, and gently just try to bring your chest forward. This might simply mean that you're just gonna need to stay upright, all right, especially if you're feeling a lot of pressure in the hip area. This might mean that you need to prop yourself up against a wall. That is fine as well. If you can tolerate this without the wall, go ahead and do so. You'll get a little bit more intense of a stretch. So take a deep breath through the nose, and as you exhale, gently try to draw the chest forward. So I want you to focus on your breathing. So breathe in through the nose. Long, deep breath as you try to lengthen through your spine. And exhale, maybe try to move the chest forward a little bit. Focus on the breath, focus on your breathing. Trying to work into the groin area. Breathe in, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, gently draw the chest forward. You're feeling a lot of pressure in your low back area, again, you can prop yourself up against the wall. If that still doesn't help, you can always lay down on your back in the same position. Try to take it back to your breathing. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out. We're just going to take a few more breaths here. Deep breath in, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, bringing the chest forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Okay. And gently just release. Okay, so while we're in a seated position, we're going to do a couple stretches for our neck area. So I'm trying to target the large areas of the body where people have the most arthritic degenerative changes. So we're going to work a little bit with the neck. Okay, if you are able to comfortably take your left arm behind the back, I'm going to have you do so. If that hurts your shoulder, you're simply going to put your hand on your belly for me. And from here, we're gently going to drop our right ear towards our right shoulder, but just to your degree, you're not forcing anything, and we're just going to hold it here. So taking a long, deep breath in through the nose, and a long, deep breath out. Breath in. And long, deep breath out. Breathe in. Long, deep breath out. Breathing in. And breath out. And one more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. And just release. The neck's a little bit more of a delicate area, so we're just not going to hold as long. So this time I'm going to have you take the right arm behind the back. If that's too uncomfortable to the shoulder, just simply place the hand on the belly. So lengthen through your spine, lift up, and very gently drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. And I want everyone to breathe in through the nose. And long, deep breath out. Breath in. And long, deep breath out. Breathe in. Long, controlled, deep breath out through the nose. Breathe in. And breathe out. And one more, breath in. And breath out. And from here, we're going to move into another stretch for our hip. So you want to grab your strap. So you're going to straighten out your right leg and you're going to bend the left leg up. Okay. And you want to wrap the strap around the foot. Okay. So you're going to take your left shoulder and you're going to bring it to the inside of that left hip. Right? And from here, I want you to pull in the belly, lift up through the chest, and gently try to bring the chest forward. So we work deep into this hip joint, but nice and easy. You're controlling this, all right? If it's hurting, you're just not going to go as far. Again, if you're feeling like you're very rounded, go ahead and place a yoga block underneath your bum or sit on a few blankets just to lift yourself up, okay? So take a breath in, and on the exhale, try to bring the chest forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. If you're a little bit more bendy, if you can reach the toes, you can grab hold of them. Otherwise, just continue to hold on to your strap. Breath in and breath out. So as you breathe in, try to lengthen through that spine. And as you exhale, try to release a little bit more into that left hip. Just focus on your breath. I know this is a little bit uncomfortable. If you're having pain, you're just going to back off and maybe not go as deep. You're just going to lighten up with the stretch. Let your breath allow you to go deeper into your intensity. And let's just release. And we're just going to switch sides. So now you're going to bend your right leg. The left leg stays straight. Grab your strap, put it around that left foot. Okay, so the right shoulder is going to come to the inside of that right leg. So you're going to pull in the belly, lift up through the chest. Again, if you're rounded, sit on something. Sit on a yoga block or a blanket to lift the pelvis so you're able to lengthen through the spine and get the chest more forward. So breathe in and exhale, gently bringing the chest forward. Take it back to the breathing, lengthen through the spine on the inhale, and on the exhale, maybe try to release a little bit more into the stretch. Let your breath allow you to go deeper into the intensity of the stretch. If you're having any pain, you're just going to back it down. Go a little bit lighter. Pull the belly and gently lengthen. If you're having any knee pain, you can simply place another towel or blanket underneath the knee just to give yourself a little bit of support. Let's just take a few more breaths here. Deep breath in through the nose and deep breath out. Okay. And just release. Okay, so keep the strap nearby. Right, we're gonna lay down on our backs with the knees bent up. And we're gonna do a supported twist. Right. So from here, you're gonna drop keeping your feet together, you're gonna drop your legs to the right. If that feels good, you can simply stay right there. If that's too intense to the low back, then you're gonna take one of those blocks so you're not going as deep. So keep in mind, we're gonna be in this position for a while, so you wanna make it that you can sustain it. Okay, if the block is maybe a little bit too hard or a little bit too much of a support, you can simply roll up a blanket and place that under the legs as well. Okay, so you want to keep the shoulders down, and you gently want to turn the head to look the opposite direction of the hips. Now, if that hurts your neck, then just keep the head straight. And we're just gonna hold it right here. So go back to your breathing, go back to focusing on the breath. So this is working into our thoracic and lumbar spine. If your mind wanders off, just take it back to the breathing, take it back to the breath. Go ahead and do a body scan. In any areas that you're feeling extra tension, just try to breathe into that area, whether it's the low back or into the hips, into the thoracic spine. Try to breathe in to that area and exhale, just release. Just taking a few more breaths here. just come back to a neutral position, and now we're just going to simply do the other side. So same thing, if you need to support with a yoga block or a blanket, go ahead and place that underneath the thighs. If your neck tolerates it, go ahead and turn your head so it's opposite the legs. And take it back to your breath, breathing in, and long deep breath out through the nose. Taking some time to do a body scan and breathing into those areas of tension, of resistance. Focusing on your breath, long, slow, deep breath in through the nose, and long, slow, deep breath out. Try to take the tension out of the shoulders. Try to take the tension out of your jaw. And nice and easy, just come back to a neutral position. Okay, so for this next one, we're gonna need a blanket. So you wanna take one of your blankets or a beach towel and you're gonna roll it up lengthwise. And you're gonna place that blanket along the length of your spine. And from here, you're gonna open up the arms. So we're getting a nice opening to the chest. If you want more intensity, you could always use a yoga block and lay along the yoga block, but that's going to be a little bit more intense, and you want to make sure that you have something to support the neck if you're using the yoga block. Okay? All right, once you're in the position, if you're having any low back pain, you can bend the legs up. If it feels okay, you're going to get more of a stretch with the legs straight. And we're just going to hold it right here. So long deep breath in through the nose and long deep breath out. Go ahead and do your body scan. Try to find those areas of tension and breathe into them. Breathing into the rib cage, feeling the ribs open. And as you exhale, just noticing that slow recoil of the ribs. Try to release any tension in the neck. If you feel like your neck needs a little bit more support, you could always place a yoga block or a blanket underneath the neck. Try to relax the shoulders completely. Feel a nice opening in your chest. Try to release any tension that you're holding in your low back or pelvis. If your mind wanders off, just bring it back to your breath, bring it back to the breathing. And nice and easy, we're just going to roll to our right side. And we're just going to take a few moments here. We're going to remove that blanket so we can comfortably lay back on our backs. All right, and you want to grab your strap. And we're going to take our strap and we're going to bring it around our right foot. All right, and we're going to straighten the leg. This is a posture called Supta Padangusthasana. So your opposite leg, if your back's okay, you're going to keep it straight. If you're having any back pain, you're going to bend the leg up. All right, and from here, you want to take your strap, if you can put the strap around the ball of the foot so you can pull the foot down. That way we'll work more into that calf muscle as well. It also will give you a little bit of a sciatic nerve stretch as well as the hamstring. And we're just going to hold it right here. So with your strap, try as best you can to relax the shoulders, that you're not holding the arms up here. Just try to relax the arms down. Letting the foot flex And nice and gentle, taking that opposite leg if it is straight and gently grounding it down into the floor. If it's bent up, just leave it right there. Take it back to your breathing. And from here, we're gently just going to spin that right leg out towards the right, working into the hips. See if you can turn your head the opposite way. Try to keep grounding down this left side. Try not to roll your body to the right. Try to stay grounded. It doesn't matter how far the leg goes out. And just hold it right here. Feeling a nice stretch into our hip region, the hip adductors, the inner groin area. And from here, we're just going to take our strap and we're going to go the opposite. We're going to pull it across the body. So now we're getting a stretch to the hip abductors and something called the IT band. Again, working into the hip, working into the groin. Try to keep the opposite side grounded down. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed as best you can. And just come back to center. Just hold it here for a few more moments. And you can just release. We're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So grounding down the opposite leg, unless you're having back pain, you can always bend the leg up. Trying to get the strap on the ball of the foot so you're keeping the foot flexed. And just breathing right here. Take your attention back to the breath. Long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose and long, slow, deep breaths out through the nose. And nice and gentle, just take it out to the side. Try to keep that opposite side grounded down. It doesn't matter how far you go. Gently turn your head, looking towards the opposite side as the leg. Try to take the tension out of the shoulders. Try to take the tension out of the arms. And now from here, we're going to gently pull the leg across. And again, turn the head the opposite direction. Feeling a nice stretch into the groin, hip abductors, the IT band. And gently come back to center. We're just going to hold it here for a few moments. And nice and gentle, we're just going to release. Okay? Gently roll yourself onto your side and push yourself up. We're going to do one more pose, one more posture. And we're going to use a chair for this next one. So hopefully the chair that you have, you can get your legs underneath. All right. So if you're pretty tight through the hamstring, if you were pretty tight with that last one that we did, or if you have any knee pain, what I'm going to have you do is roll up a blanket and slide it underneath the knees. So we're taking some of the pressure off the legs here, okay? And from here, we're simply going to lean forward onto the chair. So if you're really tight, pull that chair in close so you don't have that far to lean. If you're a little bit more bendy, a little bit more flexy, You can take the chair out a little bit longer so you have a little bit more room to bend forward. So I'll leave that up to you. So the closer you pull the chair, the less of a forward fold that you're gonna have. Okay, if you want more of a fold, then you can really bring that chair out and allow yourself to really sink down. And we're just gonna hold it right here. So this is a great stretch for the legs and the hamstring, our glutes, but it's also working into basically the entire spine. So just try to relax the head. It's a nice stretch, especially if the chair is out, or the shoulders as well. Trying to get at all the joints all at once. Just breathing here. Go ahead and do a body scan. Make sure you're taking all the tension out of the back of the neck. Breathing into those areas of tightness, whether it's the spine, the rib cage, into the hips. Feeling the stretch into the low back area. Feeling the stretch into the legs. As you take your inhales, maybe try to lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, maybe try to sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. And nice and easy, nice and gentle, just walk yourself back up. You can remove the blanket and just come to a seat. We'll finish today's class by saying namaste. If you enjoyed today's class, give me a like, leave me a comment, let me know you're here with me today. All right, thank you so much for joining me.